Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Aaheli Bhattacharya and today we're going to start with the topic representation of data. There can be three ways of representing a data. First is textual. Second is tabular. And third is graphical. Today in this video, we will cover the first two topics, that is textual and tabular. On our next video, we will start with graphical representation of data. Now, first, let's start with what is representation of data. Representation of data refers to the process of displaying the collected data. Okay? Process of displaying the collected data. In various formats, such as tables, such as charts, graphs, diagrams, or text. Now, this is to make it easier to understand, analyze, or interpret the data. Okay? Why do we use this process? To easily understand the data. No, wait. Understand the data, analyze it, and interpret it. Okay? So as I said, mainly representation of data is classified into three parts, that is textual, tabular, and graphical. First, let's start with textual. What is textual representation of data? It is the simplest form of data representation. Okay? So the first point is, let's take another color. First point is, it is the simplest form of representing the data, okay, where the data is described by using words or sentences rather than numbers or tables or graphs, okay. So it is described by using words, sentences, rather than using numbers, tables, or graphs. So it is a better representation when the data set is small, okay. It will be better representation when data set is small. And simple. And when our focus is on the explanation and narration, because we are using words and sentences, right? So it will be better when our focus is to explain or narrate. Fine. What can be the example for it? Examples can be biographies on historical characters. Okay. Now let's talk about few advantages of it. Can you name few advantages for it? First, it is, as I said, it is simple and easy to understand. It is simple and easy to understand. Point number two can be, it can be useful for storytelling or qualitative report. Useful for storytelling or qualitative report. Okay. And the third is most important, which is no special tools are required. Now, what do you mean by this? This means this is a great advantage because if no special tool is required, no special expertise is required, then experts are not required to make this kind of representation, right? So anybody can do it. This is a great advantage. Now let's come to a few disadvantages of textual representation. Yes. So the first point is this is not very effective or impressive for statistical representation, right? Because it is necessary to read or at least scan all the paras before you can get the idea about the whole data set. Because if you do not read it, you can't understand what is the data all about, what is the storytelling. So we need to read it, everything, to understand it. So what did I say? It is not effective or actually impressive for statistical representation. Since we need to necessarily we need to necessarily read or scan the paras to get the idea of the dataset. Okay, so next point is the data in this form are not usually arranged or systematic because it's written in words or sentences. How can it be systematic or arranged, right? So the data is in this form. The data in this form is not systematic or arranged. All right. Number three, there can be no visual comparison. No visual comparison. Okay, just a minute. Yes. No visual comparison. Now it's all done for textual representation. We will come to our next topic for today's class, which is also our last topic for today's class actually. That is tabular representation. We have another topic left, which we'll do on our next video, our next class actually. Tabular representation. So what do you understand by tabular representation? In this representation, data is arranged in a systematic way. Okay, data is arranged in a systematic way. How is it arranged? In rows and columns. In rows and columns. Okay, it is one of the most organized and precise way for presenting the data. One of the most organized and precise way to okay, represent the data. Okay, now in a table there will at least be four essential parts. Okay, what are the parts? First is title, then comes stub, then caption, then body. Now first let me give you a visual representation of it, then we'll come to the theory part. See, if this is a table, let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, this part is the caption. Whatever you write here is the caption. Okay, here goes the title. You need to specify what the table is about. Okay, this is stub. The extreme left portion is a stub. Then you write the source, and you can also write the footnote if you have any. This is basically the visual representation of what I'm going to teach you. Now you will understand better with the definition. Footnote and prefatory note is not necessarily given in a table. Like you can give it or you may not. Okay, I mean you may have it or you may not. Now first let's start with title. As I said, what is a title? It should explain every table and it's placed above the table. It should explain the table and placed above it. The title should clearly state what data are shown in the table. Okay? It should clearly state what data is shown. Okay. When there are more than one table, it is recommended to number the tables consecutively in order that each one identify by number rather than the title. Okay. So this is all about title. Now coming to our next part, which is stub. What is stub? As I already said and represented the table, stub is the extreme left part of the table. The extreme left part of the table, which is, that is the left hand column. The left hand column is called stub. Okay. Why is this required? It is to name and describe the nature of rows. Okay. To describe the nature of rows. Now this is all about stub. Coming to caption. What is caption? It is a heading of other columns, that is the upper part of the table which gives a description of various columns of the table. These is the column. Okay. This is the column now. This is the caption. This part is the caption. Yes. So it is a heading of other columns, that is the upper part of the table, which gives a description of various columns of the table. Okay. So this is all about caption. Now coming to body. What is body? It is the principal part of the table where all relevant figures and data are given. Principal part of the table. All relevant data and figures are given. And our last topic is footnote. What will be a footnote? It provides an explanation concerning the entire table or a substantial part of it. Explanation of any figures or digits should be given in the footnote. Okay? So, it provides an explanation concerning the entire table or a substantial part of it. A substantial part of it. Explanation of any figure or digit should be given in the footnote. So that's all for today's class. The next class will begin with the graphical representation of data, which is a very long topic. And till then, please keep studying. If you have any doubts, please write it in the comment section and I'll check it back. Thank you so much. If you like it, please like the video, share with your friends, and keep studying. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.